Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy George Michael Perez, aka GMike, and you already know what it is, baby. Back with another episode of the G Perspective. Before we get into it, please follow me on all my socials at George Mike Perez on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at GMike Media _. The podcast, the audio version itself, is available on all podcast platforms, and the video version on YouTube and Rumble. This episode, bringing back two guests, Nick Wilkins and Dicky Moss, from the previous episode to talk about Game 6 result and then the Game 7 predictions for the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics, and then see who would match up better against the Denver Nuggets for the NBA Finals. And star wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins has been released from the Arizona Cardinals, and we talk about which teams would be the best fit for him this upcoming season. So stay tuned. Please like, subscribe, leave some comments, and let's get it. My boys Nick and Dicky, how y'all doing, man?
What's up, man? We are here again. We back, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Another one.
I love
Oh, the Tyler Hero jersey.
Oh yeah,
tough.
facts. My hand is broken. So
Yeah, I wanted to throw on my Heat shirt, but I was like, I don't want to give them no bad juju. I'm gonna let Jimmy do his thing. I don't want to affect it at all.
Mine's right there in the corner hanging after I ironed it.
I know,
you know what I'm saying?
I know George.
Hey,
I know George.
George ironed his shit, had some chicken bones around it with the little candle with the Jesus and Saint Mary on it.
Dios, please, Jesus, please.
This man said chicken bones. What?
Sacrifices of chickens over here, man. God damn it, man.
Funny, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, the situation that we're in right now is
how did we get here?
The Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics are going to Game 7 after the Heat were up 3-0 in this series. And the Boston Celtics have tied it to 3-3. And in Game 7, what an ending to Game 7.
Oof.
Guys, real quick, like I was telling you earlier, man, yesterday was not a good day for me, bro. After the high emotions that was going on in those last few minutes of that game was just intense, bro. Intense. I went from cheering loud as fuck, about to lose my voice, to sitting in my chair, staring at the screen for 5 minutes, thinking about if I should break my fucking computer or not. And my girl got it all on video. She was like, you know what? I'm going to delete this.
Oh, man.
She wanted a happy reaction. And she got
Yeah, exactly. So Derek White gets the game winner for the Boston Celtics in literally 0.2 seconds left on the clock to give Boston Celtics the third win of this series to go back home and play Game 7 in their crib.
Oh.
You heard my emotions, but I want to hear what y'all were going through. Dickie, I'll start with you first.
Again, a mixed bag for me because before the series run the tape back, I had Miami in 7. So I had been really holding surge. Even when Miami went up 3-0, I said, damn, my pick is not looking good at all, my boy. But we're here now. Again, I'm not a Miami Heat fan. You know, I just, love the jerseys. You feel me? So I can't, I wasn't feeling as much emotional strain as George because at this time when my team is not competing, I just love good basketball. You feel me? And boy, was it a roller coaster of emotions. To tell you the truth, that first off, how the Heat even fought back in that fourth series, I think they were down 9 with like 3.5 minutes left to go, something like that. So I was just like, oh, man, it's not looking good. The Heat fight back. And then for Jimmy cold-blooded Butler to knock those free throws down. Man, listen, Jimmy, this whole entire playoff run, regardless of what happens tonight, Jimmy he had my respect before, but now he really has my respect because you just can't. The man is a hooper. The man hoops. So, again, roller coaster of emotions. That ended. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't think that Derek White had got it off. I thought it was a great look from Marcus Smart, to tell you the truth. The Heat, they denied Jason Tatum.
He almost win
they
it.
denied Jason
He got
Tatum.
robbed,
So
low-key.
I was like, damn, okay, exceptional defense. Marcus Smart takes the shot. I'm like, that looks good. And then it rims out, and then the last second, again, when I first initially watching it, on broadcast, I really thought they called a loose ball foul, honestly, because you saw how Strus fell or whatever, and then Derek White was halfway in the stands as well. I thought they called a loose ball foul, and I was like, no, don't do it like that, please. And it was a tip in, so I was like, oh my goodness, Game 7, here we come. You feel me?
Nick?
It was definitely a roller coaster. I mean, last time we hopped on the pod, I said Heat in 6, and I was ready for that to be true. I was ready for it, especially after Jimmy hit the free throws. And I thought there was like a little bit over 2 seconds left, but they moved it to 3, showing where they fouled him or whatever.
It should have been 2.7.
It should have been.
I'm not the type to,
it should have been,
to blame refs
no,
and shit like that, so I'm not gonna
that one's
say
a tough one.
But
that one's a tough one because they do that every time. The NBA always does that. They always correct it to where they fouled him, and they started very early in the foul because I guess that's just what they hit.
Well, it was because Mazzulla called the timeout. That's why they were able to review it. That's why they went back and they reviewed it, because he called that.
Well, they
timeout.
usually review it, don't they? They usually
they reviewed it because it was a foul call. So they had to see what type of foul it was, and then they realized, oh shit, it's not 2 shots, it's 3 shots.
Well, I thought because I thought he challenged it because he had the timeout left. Because
he just challenged it to challenge it.
Timeout. Yeah, in fact, I don't know, but good smart move on his part. But
for sure. I mean, in that situation, I mean that you don't really have anything to lose with 3 seconds left.
But, and if you have a challenge left, might as well.
You might as well take it. So it was pretty expected for him to do that, and it ended up working, obviously. And when Marcus Smart put that shot up, I was thinking the same thing. Like, I was like, that does look good. It rimmed out as soon as Derek White put that up. I was like, they lost. I knew. I saw it. I saw it
too, man.
Immediately, bro. I did. I watched it. I was like, I don't even need to see the replay. I really don't. I don't need to see the replay. I was sick immediately, and I'm not a Miami Heat fan like you, George, but in these playoffs, I kind of am. I practically grew up in Florida, so I do like the Heat as a team anyway. So I was rooting for them in this game.
Got you.
And I was hurt. Also, I had Heat in 6, so I was hoping that would go. But my dreams were defiled, and I do think Celtics get Game 7. Sadly.
All right, so
I said it last time on the pod, and I still believe it.
Yeah, before we continue with that, let's talk about that last play still. So Derek White inbounds the ball, gives it to Marcus Smart. He gets a good shot off, which, again, like we said, and we thought it was going to go in. I thought that shit was going in. That shit was a good shot. It was a good shot. It rims out. Max Strus. What the fuck were you doing? What the fuck were you doing, Max Strus? I get it. You know, you're running behind Derek White, but once he inbounds the ball, you got to box him out from the get. Why is he getting close to the basket? I don't get it. Tell me, Dicky.
Richie's killing me.
Because again, and I know it's easy to look at the play and look at Max Strus, but if I listen to Eric Spoelstra post game, right, and he said the reason why Max Strus didn't necessarily box out him is because his assignment was the ball denial of Jason Tatum. So if you look, that's why.
Wait. Let me stop you there. The ball denial of Jason Tatum.
Got you.
Jason Tatum was on the other side of the fucking court. He would have grabbed that rebound and put it back up, and they still would have won because Jason Tatum wasn't boxed out. So, Strus, what the fuck? I ask you again, what the fuck were you doing?
He was doing his job, and I know it's easy to go. Hindsight.
I'm sorry, you got to box Derek White out.
I know,
Derek White. Derek White.
I'm sorry, Dicky. I'm a listener to you. I
get it, and it's easy to look at it like that. But listen, I can't get on Max Strus too tough because he was doing what he's supposed to do. But you're right. I mean, you
No,
just got to
there
do
was a
something.
lot of fault in that game.
It was a lot going on.
We're gonna continue
It
to
was a
talk
lot
about
going.
it, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying right then and there, right?
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Give the ball down to Jason Tatum, and I understand that 100%. You don't want Jason Tatum taking that last shot, like at all. If anybody else, if it's Marcus Smart taking the shot, we're gonna live with that.
I'll
shit.
take that.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But if your assignment, like you're saying, if your assignment is to ball deny Jason Tatum, then why the hell was Jason Tatum still active on getting that rebound and putting that shot up? Because again, like we said before, we got on the record on this podcast. If the ball went the other way, Jason Tatum would have rebounded and put it back up too.
Then I got to look at your big man. What's up with the Nigerian nightmare? I mean,
no one was boxed out.
Bam boxed out Jaylen Brown at the free throw line.
Yeah,
free throw.
But no one was boxed out in the paint.
No one was boxed out in the paint. We were all by the 3-point line. All of our players were by the 3-point line, except for Strus, that he was running behind Derek White. Again, if you
got caught lacking.
He got caught lacking. No lie. Because the inbound man, as soon as he inbounds the ball, you gotta box him out. You know the shot's gonna go up.
He went immediately. Derek White sprinted.
Exactly, because no one was boxing him out.
He ran right to the rim. Why? Like.
It's tough.
It's a rough way to go.
It's tough.
It's a rough way to go.
But,
there's a lot of things going on, but I do got to give Derek White props for attacking the rim and being one of the shortest players, if not the shortest player on the court, to throw it right back up in there.
No, I give him props too, bro. He was just
that's so impressive.
He was going straight for the ball, bro. Straight for the ball. He was like, "Yo, no one's boxing me out. Yo, I'm going for that ball if he misses, bro.
Yeah,
I'm going exactly for that ball."
He learned that in San Antonio.
The other things that went wrong too: Jimmy Butler 5 for 21, Bam Adebayo 4 for 16, Gabe Vincent 6 for 18. The only man that came to play was Caleb Martin with 7 out of 13 shot attempts, 4 for 8 in threes, 21 points, 15 rebounds. 15 rebounds.
That man was hooping.
No, Caleb Martin was hooping. He did not want to go home.
No.
I mean, excuse me, he didn't want to go back to Boston.
He didn't want to, yeah. I wouldn't have either.
Go back to Boston,
like I said in the last podcast, man. They 6. You want it in 6. Don't go back to TD. Not for game 7. Go ahead, George. You were about to talk.
No. I was just gonna ask y'all, and whoever wants to answer it first can answer it first. But when you were watching the game, because other people have mentioned this to me, and I thought about it a little, but then I'm like, nah, motherfucker's a dog. He wouldn't do that. But did Jimmy look complacent when it came to shooting the ball?
I mean, I'll go first. I'm gonna say no. I mean, I thought Jimmy was doing what Jimmy does. I mean, in my opinion, again, I really thought the game was over with the 3 minutes left, and Jimmy was still fighting. Which is of course what you want to see. Like I said, he wasn't hitting his shots. If I'm gonna be real with you, bro, if you really look at the first 3 games and the last 3 games, especially for the Miami Heat, it's like a complete, 360, because you guys I'm talking about making everything in those first 3 games. You guys were shooting like over 60% from the 3. And then in the last 3 games, it seems like you guys kind of came back down to the norm. And it just seems like when the Heat aren't hitting their threes, it's kind of like the old Golden State back in their heyday. Like when they're not hitting threes and they're not shutting the crowd up, or their fans are like up, and it's like it gets tough, and it's like they don't want to play defense and stuff like that. And you have 2 guys on the other side. Because let's be honest, Jaylen Brown played probably his best game of the series so far yesterday. So, I mean, I don't think Jimmy was complacent. I would never put that on Jimmy. Jimmy's a dog. I feel like he's always going to fight, constantly going to fight. He just didn't make some shots yesterday that he usually makes. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't say that. I couldn't put that on Jimmy.
I agree. I think he was taking Jimmy-esque shots, whether it was a one-on-one or actually a pretty open shot, but just wasn't falling. And sometimes that happens. And the biggest thing for me in the series is I think in game 4, they were just lazy. They didn't want it that bad. and it showed. I mean, Jimmy was on the bench smiling when they were pretty much lost, and the Celtics wanted that one. And I think they rolled the momentum from game 4 into game 5. And then that's when you start seeing the heels slipping. That's when you start seeing the Heat like, oh, I don't know. And then they win game 5 and they go into game 6 and they win. And now Heat's really on the heels. So I think I thought it was the Celtics wanting it more in game 4 and 5, and it just flipped the momentum. And going into game 7, they're going to have a different mindset. And Bam has to be more aggressive too. And the shots he was taking were a little rough. That's what I think his shot selection was worse than Jimmy's, in my opinion. When he gets that rebound, when he got blocked by Al Horford, when he gets that rebound, he didn't take a dribble. He didn't bump him. He didn't go to the rim. He went straight up on Al Horford right off the jump, got the rebound, went straight back up and got sent back. Because that is not, what are you doing? Drop the ball, put a shoulder in him, and go up for a lay. Like, that's way too easy for Al Horford. And it's like those type of plays. It's like it's hesitant. It's like, I got the ball, I'm going to just go right back up. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's from the momentum switching. And it's going to be tough in game 7 for them to gain back the momentum in TD Garden.
Yeah. But before you go, George, I just want to say another thing that, I think a lot of people might overlook is really the absence of Gabe Vincent in game 5. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's true.
I kind of, at first I was thinking like, damn, like, is Gabe Vincent I feel like the Heat are so next man up, but I really saw a change in the dynamic of the offense when Gabe Vincent wasn't on the floor. I mean, I kind of attested to like a CP3 when he was on those Clippers and those Houston teams when he got hurt. Like, you see how the offense changes when you don't have somebody that can run the floor and really facilitate. Not saying that like Caleb Martin can't. Kyle Lowry is great at that, but obviously
and his
he's
perimeter shooting.
Yeah, he's a much older player now, so it's like it's a little tough for him. He's better more off the bench as a spark. And it's like that's what I was really looking at. Like, damn, like the Heat offense is kind of, without Gabe Vincent, which, before, let's be honest, there weren't before these playoffs started, not a lot of people knew those were household names like Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, Max Strus, those type of guys on the Miami Heat. They're just, people just thought they were roster spots, but now they've actually played up to their, whatever. So I think that's another thing, like that game 5 without Gabe Vincent. I mean, very small, in the grand scheme of things they might look, but I thought that was really big for you guys. But, we'll see. I'm sure he's playing tonight. He got to play. I mean,
yeah, that's a good point.
They have
tonight. The offense has been stagnant without Vincent, and with Kyle Lowry bringing the ball up the floor, they can kind of press off the perimeter as much because the way Vincent was shooting in the beginning of the series, they had to press him immediately.
Of course.
So like he would cross half court, and once he got like past the logo, they were on him. So and that just opens up the floor tremendously for guys like Bam in the paint. So yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, I want to apologize to the fans out there because I said that Kyle Lowry was going to be the focal point to our team on why we'll win this series, and he has just like threw that in the gutter and made me look like a jackass on live Zoom YouTube TV. He has not shown up this series. In that game that you're talking about, that game Vincent was out in game 5, we were supposed to weigh on him heavy. We thought he was going to come out and show that championship DNA and give our team that spark that we need with Vincent out, and he just didn't do so. And I think the real problem with that is the fact that when he comes down the floor, he's not patient. I feel like he's too rushed and everything. And that's what I love about Gabe Vincent. He'll come and he'll like, all right, set the screen, boom, go off the screen. Is it there? No, it's not there. Pass it. Can I pass it to the guy cutting? No, it's not there. Let me pass it out to the 3. Let's get another play going, this and that. I feel like Kyle Lowry, he tries to force so many things in so many different situations that it just messes us up. And that's why we have been getting 10-plus turnovers in these games that we have lost in this series. Like, it's just going downhill with rushing the offense. I don't think we need to rush the offense as much. But what we need to do is do a lot of ball movement because, like you said, next man up. Everybody that is out there on the court can either score the ball or play amazing defense. So if you're not getting a good shot off, all right, our transition defense is gonna get back. We're gonna be able to set up our defense. But if we're able to make shots with the ball movement, then we don't really have to worry about that. Go ahead.
Just talk, bro.
Just talk, bro.
Well, I wanted to.
Like raising his hand.
Hold on. I wanted to let you finish.
Yes, Mr.
No, I'm good.
Fact. I want to let you finish, but I really want to piggyback off what you just said. And I want to say, I don't want this person to get a pass in this shit. And that's your man, is Bam Adebayo. You feel me? Bam Adebayo made second team all defense. You feel what I'm saying? And we know what Bam can do offensively, and we know what he can do defensively. On some nights when you just don't have it, offensively or whatever, then you have to make your impact felt on the defensive side of the ball. For example, like a Jaren Jackson Jr. Obviously, we know who gets those shots in Memphis with Ja, with Bane, those type of guys. But when Jaren Jackson, when he's not getting the ball or whatever, what he makes his impact felt on the defensive side of the ball. And I think that's what Bam has to do. Bam is the sole anchor of your defense. Let's be honest. You guys don't really have a huge, like a Twin Towers or whatever the case might be. You don't. It's Bam. And he has to set that precedence. You feel me? And like I said, if he's not going to do it offensively, if you're going to say, hey, I'm going to let my other guys work, but this is my fucking paint tonight. You feel me? There's nothing, whatever, then that's what you have to do. In my opinion, Bam has to have that mentality that, look, nothing down in the paint. We're going to turn them motherfuckers into a jump shooting team. You feel me? Because nobody's coming inside. You need that thing. And I think, obviously you'll learn that again. Bam is, I think he's finally coming into his own. But what I'm saying, he is a key piece. You guys need Bam. You know what I'm saying? So he just has to have that mentality. And I think he will. I think maybe UD and, Spo will probably, like nudge, like, look, man, you know what I'm saying? Look at some old Shaq highlights from back in 06. When he would, again, obviously D Wade is the focal point. But listen, Shaq says, look, I'm an older player, but I'm gonna anchor this defense and really help D Wade out on that side of the ball and let him kind of do his thing. So I think that's just something that Bam has to do. Bam is very important to this series. So who knows? I think Bam is gonna be that key tonight, because I think Jimmy will do Jimmy things. The rest of your guys will do their stuff, but I think Bam he's gonna have to have one of them games, man.
All right, so let's
I agree.
Let's talk about because we'll move on after this. But let's talk about what each team needs to do to get this Game 7 win tonight. We'll start off with the Boston Celtics, then go to the Miami Heat, or whatever you want, whatever way you want, whatever comes to mind. But Nick, I'll go with you first.
For the Celtics to get the win, I mean, I say feed off the crowd, and whoever is hooping, get them the ball. If it's Jaylen Brown, if it's JT, if one of them starts hitting, just feed them. Just feed them until the hot hand is gone. And move the ball around so it's not just ISO play like they did in the first 3 games. They've been moving the ball around a lot more in the back half of this series, and I think just feeding off the crowd and the energy that they're going to give you in this Game 7 that's what they'll need to do to get kind of Miami to feel a little out of place and hesitant, and when Kyle Lowry's bringing up the ball, trying to rush, you know what I mean? And that type of environment and that type of crowd will definitely do that if they get the right momentum going. So I think that's what the Celtics got to do, is feed off the crowd and get your shooters shooting and feed off the hot hand.
What about for
Miami?
Yeah, for Miami.
For Miami, I think Bam's got to step up. I agree with what Rich said. I thought he was spitting facts. Bam's got to step up on the defensive end if he's not there on the offensive end. If he can't get the shots that he wants, he can't get to the rim. He was hesitant on the offensive end. And if you're going to be hesitant, pass the ball up unless you got a good shot. If you don't got a good shot, pass the ball up. You don't need to be taking it, and put all your effort into defense, because we know that you can do that so well. You're the anchor, as Rich said. That's a fact. He's the anchor of that defense. And so if he's kind of like, I don't know where I'm at, then the whole defense is going to be like that. So I completely agree with what Rich said. I thought that was spot on.
But, so as far as Boston goes, if I'm gonna be honest with you, this is an empty the tank game. And what I mean by that, I'm talking about I just seen a 38-year-old LeBron James go 45, 46 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Barely. JT is gonna have to do that. JB too. Shit, you're gonna have Boston is gonna have to do that. Exhaust all things because listen, this is do or die. This is what you live for. These are the game sevens that you, as a kid, you're like, what you got to empty the tank. And I think Boston, if they can just for them to win, like I said, they just have to continue to play the way that they have been playing. Meaning, what is okay? Your three's not falling. Let me take it inside. You feel me? Feeding off JB and JC, the crowd, everything together. You got to empty the tank. I mean, if Missoula even signals for JT to come out, I think he got to look at him like, nah, I'm in here because I want to affect every part of this game every minute that I can. So from the Boston side, like I said, I think it's definitely an empty tank. We got to give it all we got because let's be honest. I mean, now, it is a lot of pressure. You feel me? Because you look at it from both sides. It's like, damn, we could make history. Boston Celtics, we could be on the right side of history. And for Miami, it's like, damn, you don't want to be on the wrong side of history. So let me switch to Miami. For them to get this, it has to be done on the defensive side of the ball, in my opinion. I really do like when Miami was zoning it up at some times in game 6. Really, again, Boston is a jump shooting team. You might not think so, but they want to shoot. They want to shoot the 3. They want to shoot the 3. They don't have somebody that wants to go on the inside and bang and stuff. Robert Williams is not that guy.
He takes open shots.
Exactly. He's not that guy or whatever. So you don't really have like an inside post presence like a Joel Embiid or Nikola Jokic can get in the pit. You don't have that. So they're a perimeter team. So treat them like that. You zone it up. You really kind of psychologically like, hey, we'll let you shoot. Go ahead. You want to shoot? Whatever. Now they can beat you like that. They can, if they're hitting shots. But I think Miami, they have to do it on the defensive side of the ball because I think Jimmy is going to give you everything that he has. You feel me? You're gonna have to.
I'm not worried about that.
Listen, you're really gonna have to feed off that. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy's gonna give you everything that you got. Again, bam, on the defensive side of the ball. Listen, make them motherfuckers, say, listen, this is my paint. Ain't nothing coming in. Because look at when Al Horford beat Pat Bam shot. It's like you can see how like they affected some of the shots that he took later in the thing. Because that's in the back.
It's all psychological,
Exactly. That's how sports is, man. That's why we love it. So I would say defensive side of the ball for Miami.
Max.
You gotta, get that grit, that Miami, that Heat culture. Essentially is
that's what they're gonna need.
Is what it is. They're gonna
against
need
that crowd. Against that crowd, because they're not just playing the Boston Celtics. They're playing that crowd too.
Yeah, listen.
In a game 7.
Go ahead.
In a game.
In game 7.
And I just
in Boston.
Listen, fuck all the talking.
Fuck
Boston. Fuck all the talking. Let's get it on the court. I don't want to see no, none of this, no pointing at Grant Williams or whatever. Listen, we here to handle business. You feel me? We'll do all of that shit after. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm expecting to see from the Heat tonight. That defensive prowess just really making it difficult for Boston. So.
Yeah, for Boston, man, this is the hard thing about being like a sports fan and then being a sports analyst at the same time because you want to be biased, but then again, you got to be truthful to what you actually, what your knowledge entails. So for Boston, I don't think they have to change much, bro. I think Boston's the better team, 100%. We talked about this before. I think they're the better team defensively and offensively. Like they're not better coached. They're not better coached. But their offense and defense, they're better. Just players and over.
It's kind of not close.
Talent-wise,
it's kind of
crazy. But for Boston, I'll say 2 things. 1, Boston cannot let their confidence go down when they're not making shots. Because when they don't make shots, they don't play defense. That's the bad thing about Boston. When they're making shots, they play amazing defense because their confidence is through the roof. That's one thing that cannot happen. If Miami is playing the perimeter, they switch to the zone and they start playing the perimeter tight and they're not making shots, they cannot let their confidence go down because the Miami is just going to take it from them 100%. 2, I think they need to get to the free throw line like they did last game and game and Game 5. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown went for 9 for 16 field goals. Jason Tatum went for 8 for 22 in Game 6. But Jason Tatum had 15 for 15 free throws. And Jaylen Brown had 8 for 10. So this is why they ended up with 31 points and 26 points, because of the free throws. Because if not, they would have been under 15. So if they're going to the line a lot and they're getting these free throw attempts, that's another way that they're going to win 100%. So if they stick to those two things, and just like how you guys said, one, feeding in with the crowd, 100%. They feed in with the crowd.
Feed off the crowd.
Dude, there's no losing for them. If they're feeding off that crowd and they're playing the way that they're supposed to be playing, there's no losing. Mm-hmm. It's just as simple as that. For the Boston Celtics, it's as simple as that. Mm-hmm. Like I said, they're the better team. But Miami is dogs. But there's 3 things that I got to say that Miami needs to do. 1, we cannot have 15-plus turnovers. This is why we've lost all the games in this series, because of turnovers. In each game, we've had 9-plus turnovers in the first half. You know what that is? That you're giving the other team so much momentum in that first half. The second half, you come out, you're like, damn, now we got to play from under. We got to play from 15 points, 10 points, 5 points. When you limit those turnovers and we protect the ball like we have been all season and all playoffs, because that's the way that we play, we get to win. Mm-hmm. Second, going off of what you said, Dicky and Nick, Bam, you got to come to play. You got to come to play, not only on defense. Yes, you're the defensive anchor of our team. We rely on you. But you need to come on offense, man. You got to play strong. You're playing against a dinosaur and Al Horford when you could body him up and take him to the rack every single time.
That's what I'm saying.
Every single time.
Put him down. He can back down Al. He can back down Al
all day. All day.
All day. That's there all day. It really is. I like Al and his defense, but Bam is
younger, faster,
younger. Yeah.
I think he's probably taller than him. He probably has way more vert than him.
And Bam is dark skinned.
Yeah.
He gotta come to play every single time Bam scores 20 or more points, we win. Simple as that. We win. Bam, you come out playing so aggressive, bro. Yo, we could win. We could win the game, bro. We could win the game. And the third thing that I'm gonna say is that we gotta come with that underdog mentality once again, bro. We were up 3-0 and we just let it slip away because we didn't have the underdog mentality no more. We were just like, yo, you know what? We're up 3-0. Whatever. We could lose one. We're straight. Oh, damn. We lose the second one at home. Damn. Now our backs are against the wall. Now people really think that the Boston Celtics are going to make history and be the first team ever to come back from 3-0 in a playoff series. Man, fuck that. Underdog mentality. You got to have that shit from the get-go, bro. It's going to be tough for Miami, 100%, bro. I think the fucking Celtics.
You gotta censor Rich.
Are gonna. I think the Celtics are gonna make history, bro. But I gotta go with the Miami fucking Heat, and I gotta be fucking biased, and we're gonna take this game 7.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Taking game 7.
What I said. I'm talking George, but hey, I'm going with my pick. I'm sad about it.
7, man.
I'm sad about it. I'll be rooting for the Heat. I'll be happy if I'm wrong. I'll be happy if I'm wrong.
In 7.
I'll be happy if I'm wrong.
Crazy.
That's how I
feel. Whoever wins goes up against the Denver Nuggets next. The Denver Nuggets have been playing out of state, out of mind this season.
Nigga, they've been playing? I feel like they've been off.
No. They're already in Cancun. They got to come back.
They golfing right now, bro.
Hey, niggas went on vacation before the finals.
The Denver Nuggets swept the Los Angeles Lakers last week. 4-0. There's not really much to say on this, but I just want to know from you guys. One, we'll start off with the MVP conversation because people keep saying that since how Jokic has been playing, he should be named NBA MVP. But remember, it's a regular season award. But due to the fact of how he's been playing and he's taking his team to the NBA Finals, not alone, but he's taking his team to the NBA Finals. Should Joel Embiid be revoked of his NBA MVP, and should it be given to Jokic?
You go ahead first. You can go first.
I'm gonna say no. I like Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid, but again, at the end of the day, it's a regular season award. You're talking about from game 1 to game 82, and in my opinion, I think Joker would have won it without that last, I would say, 3 to 4
games.
Weeks. Yeah, that last 3 to 4 weeks of the season. If you really saw it, in my opinion, I think that's when the whole conversation about Denver kind of changed. Because I mean, let's be honest, we're real basketball fans. Denver has been a top team for the last couple years. It's not like we're seeing anything new. We've seen Denver, but they were so dominant the entire year. And then that last month, they just kind of tailed off. In my opinion, they kind of got that, like what the Warriors used to do. Listen, we're a top team. We're good. We're cruising into, we're cruising into the postseason and stuff like that. And that's just what happens. And I think people are counting them out because, one, they necessarily haven't been here before. This is their deepest playoff run we've seen with this core group. But no one is surprised. I don't think Joker should have won MVP. In my opinion, I thought Giannis should have got MVP over Embiid and Jokic, but Joel Embiid won the MVP. At the end of the day, who cares? Nikola Jokic looks like the type of, he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care. You know what I'm saying? Whether he wins that or whether, and I think he would have been just fine if Jamal Murray would have got the Magic Johnson Western Conference Player MVP. So
yeah, he just want to win. Sure.
Exactly. He knows what it's about. He knows it's a bigger goal, and obviously he's the type. He has the personality where he's not gonna, say this or say that. The man just hoops, and that's what he does. But no, there's no way the MVP should be. No, Joel Embiid, he earned it. Listen, that's what the voters thought, regardless of whoever. But it's for the entire season. It's not just I play 55 games or I play 65 games. No, it's 1 to 82. How were you in that stretch? And that's no, definitely not.
I completely agree. For Jokic, go in the finals MVP.
Yeah.
Forget that. You got 2 MVPs at home. Go get another award. I ain't talking about no revoking.
Next question.
Joel just got his first, man, and it looked like that was his goal for the season. But
yeah,
not gonna lie, after they went out, it looked like he ain't care. He went from crying against Toronto to good job, good game, in a game 7 that in a 3-1. They had 3-1 lead. And that was how, I don't know, that whole thing was weird to me. I thought Joel looked like it looked like he had the script and he knew that was about to happen because he did not care after that game at all. But no, I don't think it should be.
That boy trying to be out of there.
That's what he got. It's something was off. So that's a whole different situation. But yeah, Jokic, go win the finals MVP. Go get that. You got 2 MVPs at home. You don't want another one. Forget all that. You want that finals MVP. You want a finals. You want a ring. Go get that ring. I don't care about it.
My whole thing is, right, because obviously when it comes to fans and stuff, you're not gonna really listen to what they say. But when it comes to these analysts and broadcasters on TV, they actually have votes for these awards for these players and stuff. So my thing is if these people, broadcasters and analysts, if they're complaining about Joker should have been MVP because look at the way he's playing right now, and Joel Embiid didn't really get his team anywhere or whatever, it's like, then why don't we just change all of it to the whole damn season, preseason, regular season, postseason, and then you do the awards? Because if you're just going to do it off the regular season, then stop bitching and complaining about how a person is going to play in the postseason. No, that's it. It's already done. Stop complaining about it. In the regular season, last year, I thought Joel Embiid should have won it last year.
I agree.
Don't get me wrong. Jokic was playing outstanding, and I never take that away from him because he always plays outstanding. But the thing is that I felt like Joel Embiid got his team to a higher seed. He was a scoring champion. He's a two-way player. Jokic is not. And he's doing all these things to get his team dubs, while Jokic is too. I'm not taking that away from him. But I think Joel Embiid should have won it last year. But now if we're talking about, oh, look at the way that Joker's playing in the postseason, then might as well just put preseason, regular season, postseason together and then give the awards. Like, stop complaining.
Separate it. No. Or separate. You could have the MVP as the regular season and all the regular season awards, and then you have playoff awards. You could do something like that.
Nah.
I mean, they're already doing Western Conference MVPs and stuff like that. But I meant like whatever. If they were gonna split it, because there's when playoffs come around, this conversation always comes back up.
That's why I'm saying
I see what you're saying.
They're always complaining about it, but it's like, okay, so either you guys don't understand that it's about the regular season, or you guys want the whole thing together and then give the awards. It's one of those.
That's complete bullshit, because then look at players like Jimmy Butler. You know what I'm saying? Regular season Jimmy. First off, I don't know how Jimmy made second team All NBA and he didn't even make the All-Star team. But look at stuff like that.
You know why? The voting was after.
Listen,
the voting was after.
The voting was after. They just watched him drop 56 on Milwaukee. They couldn't not vote for
listen, they did. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you look at stuff like that. Like, in my opinion, as a player, when it comes to the postseason, I think you're supposed to elevate your game. Like, your game is here, and then it elevates in the postseason, which is why we've had, convos about like James Harden and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, like, the regular season and the postseason are two completely different things, because you can be one person in the regular season and be another person in the postseason. So no, do not combine them. The regular season is the regular season. That's what it's for, is the regular season, all of that stuff. Then you also have the postseason. The postseason is a completely different animal. We've seen things happen and things not happen in the postseason. No, do not combine them. Just keep it how it is, and all that stuff, and we're fine.
Just stop complaining about how a player plays in the postseason and then regular season. Just stop. Just realize that it's two different seasons.
There's 82 games.
Two completely different things. Yeah, exactly. You're judging 82 games versus, for example, I mean, in order to win a championship, you have to win 16 games in the playoffs. But if we extrapolate that over like maybe 7-game series, you're talking about like 30 games, at most. So you're talking about 82 and then 30. Like, it's two completely different things, man. I'm not jacking it. You don't have to put them together.
So for Denver right now, first time they go to the NBA Finals ever to their franchise. Congrats to them. Right now, whoever wins Game 7 tonight, they play, obviously. Who would be the better matchup for Denver? Miami or Boston? Pretty sure we all have the same answer, but
yeah.
Go ahead, Rich.
I mean, and you know what's so terrible is because I've been disrespecting Miami since the postseason had started. And I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to say Boston. I mean, I'm sorry. Listen, I'm sorry. No disrespect
and to Miami. Do it again.
Listen, I love those boys. I love Spo and just that entire Heat culture. But you even said it yourself, George. Boston is a better team, offensively, defensively. That's just what it is. That's not, a false statement or whatever. We understand that. But we just know how the Heat fight. And I just think it would be it'd be tough. Because first off, this whoever wins tonight is going to take so much out of, whoever wins the Eastern Conference. I mean, Denver is going to be, now granted, if Boston wins, they have home court over Denver. Obviously if Miami won, they would have to go to Denver. So I think that also plays, a factor. Definitely. That altitude in Denver is completely, different. But I would say Boston would be the better matchup, just because I think those two, you have two against two essentially, and then you have everybody else. And to me, that would be the most even thing. Can JT and JB match what Jamal Murray and Jokic do? And then you have your other pieces. Is Marcus Smart and Al Horford and Williams and Derek White, are they going to do what MPJ and Bruce Brown and KCP, are they going to, how are they going to do that? I think it'd be a really great series, in my opinion, if it was supposed to be Boston and Denver. If it's Miami and Denver, I don't know. You feel me? I'm just gonna fall back on the Heat culture and say that they're dogs. They're gonna fight regardless. and I would love to see them, in the finals too. But I don't know. But Boston would be the better matchup to answer the question.
In terms of competitiveness,
I mean, I
In,
think
ter-
everything.
in
What do you
terms of if Denver
like the
played,
better series,
yeah, like what would be the better
Okay.
outcome of the series? What would be
like a better series,
Oh
like to
yeah,
watch?
yeah. So
That's
okay. So let me rephrase the question because it could sound confusing. For Denver to win, who would be the better matchup? I'm pretty sure
Oh,
you're gonna say Miami, but for the series,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure you would
That's
say
what.
Boston.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I would go. I was just
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to see because he said that because I was thinking like who would be better for Denver to play, and then he started talking about the Celtics, and I got confused.
No, it's all good. It's
my
all
bad.
good. It's all
My
good.
bad.
I was like, did he really?
Gotcha.
And then he started explaining, but
Yeah. No,
yeah,
I think we all feel the same.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I would love to see Jimmy in another finals because he pours his heart out, but I don't know if I want to see it get crushed again. Hopefully, hopefully, if the Heat do go, that it's a great series and it hopefully it goes 7, but that's gonna be a tough matchup for Miami. It's gonna be a tough matchup just because Jokic is gonna tear it up in that paint unless Bam does something crazy.
Nah,
Bam's gonna
I ain't gonna lie. No disrespect. Bam ain't
Bam's
got
gonna
shit
have
for
to
yo.
take
No,
some
I mean,
fucking
you're gonna have
adrenaline
to
shot
try
before
to
you
slow
fucking
it. Yeah,
matches up
no,
with him.
like yeah, you can try to slow him down, but you're not stopping him. That's
If
really
Bam gets
the thing.
10, if Bam gets 10 fouls, if he's allowed 10 fouls, then I think he can guard.
Yeah, word. Word.
Listen, you know what Bam should do? Take his shorts off and guard him like that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna want to come inside, man. Take your shorts off, man. And just, what's up? I'm here. His balls out. You feel me? Listen, I ain't trying to get near that. Coach, I ain't trying to get near his balls, man. Goddamn.
Coach, get me out the game.
Yeah.
Get me out the game.
I can't with y'all.
Nah, definitely,
Urge is
bro.
killing me.
Denver, I think Denver wins automatically against
Yeah,
any of them.
I agree. I agree.
But
Jokic, go get that Finals MVP, man. Go get that Finals MVP.
yeah.
Jamal Murray, that nigga.
Nah, for real. I was about to say,
on,
watch out
before-
for Murray because he's
before
coming
we
for
go-
that trophy too.
Yeah, but next up, DeAndre Hopkins released from the Arizona Cardinals. Wow, it wasn't really super surprising, but when it happened, I was like, damn, they really pulled the trigger on it,
Okay.
But DeAndre Hopkins now he has been heard. He was on that one, what's it called? I Am Athlete podcast. He was saying on who he would like to play with, and we'll go more into the depth of what type of team he would want to play with. He was talking about a team that has a quarterback that can control everything and know exactly what they're doing. A good front office that they're not switching around left and right like how it was in Houston and Arizona with the coaching and the front office. And 3, that is a contender. So with those 3 things that you've heard from DeAndre Hopkins, which team would be the better team to sign? I'll start with Nick.
The better team to sign him?
Yeah, what team would be the best team for him to go to?
Kansas City, man. They just won the bowl. They just won it all. He trying to go to KC, go to the best quarterback in the league. It's not an argument in my eyes. Mahomes, best quarterback in the league. He finally gets to play with a good quarterback in a good system because he played with a good quarterback in Deshaun Watson, but it was in a horrific system. Finally got up out of there and then got with Kyler Murray, and we see how that went. It was just kind of a dumpster fire, and no one knew what was going on.
Right.
And so if D-Hop can get with either way, like Josh Allen or Mahomes, if D-Hop and Mahomes team up, the league is going to be on notice because Mahomes just won the Super Bowl with Juju as his wide receiver 1. So if he's got Travis Kelce and D-Hop to throw to, I don't know how you stop them in the red zone. Like, really. I know, because Mahomes is gonna figure out how to get it to one of those. I don't know how defense are gonna try to defend that. That'll be the craziest 1-2 punch in the league, in my opinion, if D-Hop goes to the Kansas City Chiefs, because a lot of people say D-Hop's washed. I do not care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. But people be saying he's washed. I don't know how or why or what they're washing, but I watched that man come back from a 6-game suspension after pretty much not being with the team. And then he came back from the suspension, dropped 100 yards in receiving in his first game back, and he looked like he didn't even know what the plays were. And then kept getting 100-yard games with Colt McCoy as his quarterback. So, yeah, no, D-Hop's not washed. I don't care what nobody says.
So I'm gonna give two answers real quick. Obviously, the first answer is completely biased, in my opinion. I'm gonna say the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the reason I say that, this is the reason I say that. First and foremost, let me just say, shame on you, NFL, because I was reading some stuff yesterday, and they have the top 10 projected offenses in the NFL next year, like this coming season, and the Jacksonville Jaguars were not on it. So I was a little hurt by that, in my opinion. But this is my thing. From D-Hop's point of view, at the end of the day, it's what does he want? Does he want to win, or does he want to get paid? Like, let's be honest. That's essentially what it comes down to. If you're going to a contending team, the money is not going to be as much as you would like. Let's just be honest. In Jacksonville, you might not necessarily look at us as a competing team, but we did win the division last year. We did win one of probably the best playoff games we've seen in the last decade. You know what I'm saying? Coming back.
That comeback was ridiculous.
Exactly. Coming back from 27-0.
But I blame Coach.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah, in fact, 28-0. So, so that's one. Again, we lost Marvin Jones Jr. He went back to his home. You know what I'm saying? He went back to his home.
I was so happy, bro. I was so happy. Marvin should have never left.
Went back to his home.
Didn't understand that.
We got Calvin Ridley coming out, who I've been reading, reports that he looks exceptional in camp. We still got Zay Jones. We still have Evan Ingram. We have ETN running out the backfield. I think if he were to come to Jacksonville, granted, obviously, people are going to be like, well, you don't kind of want to mess up. But I think D-Hop, if he were to come to Jacksonville, he's the point in his career now where, again, he wants to win. He's a veteran presence in that locker room. He can really kind of help mold, and at the end of the day, you can never have too many wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? Maybe try to, have him in the slot and stuff like that. Can put him out wide. We can have a couple different packages. Dougie P can really cook up some stuff. And like I said, I think he could definitely help our offense,
100%.
But that's, again, my personal bias and stuff like that. But if I'm looking at it objectively, if he really wants to go to a contender, somebody that can really win, I mean, listen, I'm looking at, Baltimore, as a destination, because, again, exceptional
money might be an issue.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If he does go to Baltimore, the money's going to be very minimal, obviously. But he has a great relationship with OBJ. From what I know, he's cool with Lamar. They have a new offensive coordinator that really wants to be very pass friendly. And, OBJ on one side, DeAndre Hopkins on the other side. I mean, that you can't get much better than that. You still got Mark Andrews
with Zay Jones lining up.
Exactly. Zay Flowers.
Yeah. My fault.
Zay Flowers. Yeah. So
we were talking about Zay Jones. It flew right out.
Got you. So that's who I would look at as, like, on the contender side. And also another sneaky one that I would just thought about just off the top of my head, the Chargers. And I know you say, well, they already have Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, but let's be honest, health has been an issue for both of those wide receivers, and they have the quarterback that can definitely get him the ball. And their defense on paper, looks good, even though it hasn't, bode well for them the last couple of years, a lot of injuries and stuff. But that would be a sneaky contender who I would look at and say, if they got D-Hop, I would be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So it's all about what D-Hop wants. Does he want money, or does he want to be a contender? But I love your Kansas City pick, though. Great pick.
I mean, the Chargers was a good one, too. Their wide receivers would be a basketball team.
Literally.
If you went there, it'd be crazy. They gotta go start getting a league.
Yeah, so I had to step away because I got a phone call, but I'm pretty sure I got the gist of it that you think DeAndre Hopkins would fit well in Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
I do like
I
both of
said
those.
KC.
KC for sure, top contender, 100%. I think that
Nigga,
would
we
be.
can go on Kansas City. All three of us.
Yeah. I mean, if I was talking if I'm taking it from a biased perspective, I want to see Lamar Jackson get as much weapons as possible.
Yeah. No,
I mean, obviously, I would like to see him in Detroit, but I just don't see that happening. So I'd rather him go to the Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it a different segue because, like, I agree. The number one contender would be the Kansas City Chiefs. If he wants to go and win now, I think Kansas City is at the top because in the AFC I see Kansas City, then second New York and Miami right there. So like if he wants, yeah.
Over the Bills,
they jumping Bills and Bengals.
Yeah,
they jumping.
Hell yeah! With that defense, all they needed was a plug-in quarterback. Boy, Aaron Rodgers. That's all they need.
That is a hot take.
That's all they need.
That's a hot take.
But we'll stick with this. With the
wait, hold on. I gotta go back. So you think Buffalo is gonna be third in that division?
Yeah. No.
With Von Miller coming back?
Yeah, third.
Wow. That's a hot take.
Believe it or not, I'm taking Miami to win the AFC East next year. I'm taking Miami.
Miami and New York are gonna have that two of the top 5 defenses in the league.
Yeah,
this season. I think Buffalo's like 6 or 7, like 6 or 7. Buffalo right there.
Bro, the AFC is so stacked.
It's disgusting. Have you seen? Do you ever see the quarterback lists? Like when they have them side by side of AFC and NFC, it looks like a joke.
Facts.
It's crazy.
But yeah, if he wants to win now, Kansas City is the number one spot for him for sure. I think Jacksonville would fit good with him. You got a young quarterback who is showing promising standard out there, and he needs another receiver to actually like help him try to make some plays and stuff. I think that would be good too. I also picked Baltimore because Baltimore, like you said, they're trying to be a pass first team, not a run first team this year, and giving Lamar Jackson more weapons to throw to, so he's not freaking under pressure every single time and just trying to throw it to one weapon, which is Mark Andrews. I think that would actually be good for them. But since you guys already picked that, I'll go with the route of him going. I'm not gonna say going to the team with the most money because right now I don't think any team has a lot of money to freaking like try to give him that bag if he wants that bag. But if he wants more money, yeah. If he wants more money or not, if he wants more money or not, and still wants to contend, I would say the New Orleans Saints. I will throw him out there. He got Michael Thomas out there. They still need another receiver or wide receiver
Chris
to
Olave.
try to.
I love Chris Olave.
Yeah, Olave is good.
He could get a bag from New Orleans too.
Yeah, facts. I mean, not a super bag, but he could get more money than he would with Baltimore, KC, and these other teams.
And let's be honest, Derek Carr would arguably, I mean, depending on how you feel about Deshaun Watson, arguably be the best quarterback. I mean, he's pretty much had. I mean, arguably. No,
I'm gonna have to disagree.
I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying, if I take Deshaun Watson,
wait, you think Derek Carr is better than Kyler Murray?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Derek Carr. I mean, excuse me, hold on, let me. Because I don't want this clip to go viral. What I'm saying is,
I need more information.
To me, I mean, I never thought of Kyler Murray as like an upper echelon quarterback. I thought he's more in that, mid to kind of good range. Yeah, like, between 12 and 15 or even at the 11th spot. I mean, something like that. Derek Carr is in that realm. He's the good, I'm saying the average to good, can be really good sometimes. I'm saying? Same thing with Dak. Those are Kirk Cousins, same thing. Those are like average quarterbacks that can play, above. They're solid. They're solid starters. And I think
I just don't think Carr is better than Murray. I just don't think that.
I don't think Carr is better than Watson.
I understand. I think they're.
Oh no, hell no, he's not better than Watson.
But I think, hold on. But I think you're saying that because of Kyler and Deshaun's athletic ability and ability to get out of pressure. But if we're talking about throwing the football, I think they're all kind of, You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I'm taking Deshaun.
The thing is that you have to put into effect their ability to run and everything, because that takes away the pressure off the defense. They're like, oh damn, like I gotta play the run. Oh damn, now he's gonna throw the ball. Now Hopkins is behind me. Oh damn, bomb. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta put that in. I know what you're saying, like when it comes to throwing the ball, but you gotta put that element in because it does affect the game. So
and I understand that.
If Carr throws average and Murray throws average, but Murray can run the ball and Carr just sits in the pocket, I'm going Murray.
Okay. I get it.
Agree.
I get it. I just look at guys like Tom Brady had much success with no type of athletic ability because he relies more on the mental and the passing.
But is Derek?
No, you're right. Again,
Okay,
I'm not trying to compare. I'm not trying to compare Derek Carr to Tom Brady. It's not what I'm doing. What I'm saying is, I think Derek Carr he's a solid quarterback. He's not complete ass. And again,
he's not.
No, I'm not saying he's complete ass.
He's number 3.
I'm taking from a passing perspective. I'm taking Deshaun Watson any day of the week.
Okay, that's fine. I
think he's number 3 in the NFC right now. You got Derek Carr. You got Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Derek Carr.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know anybody above that. Like honestly,
yeah, I wouldn't be completely mad at that.
Unless you're gonna say Jared Goff, but
I don't want to.
I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad pick. Jared Goff's not a bad pick.
So you think Carr? Who's better?
I think Carr. If Carr does the same thing, if you plug him in that offense.
But if I'm honest, I would take Matt Stafford over Dak and Carr.
Yeah. But we don't know what Stafford's going to look like. He's been a concussion
I'm talking about this upcoming
season.
It's
really
the Tommy John
tough.
surgery.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's tough to measure what Stafford's going to be. I want him to retire. I think he did his thing, got his ring. I think he should not risk any.
You think he should hang it up?
Yeah, I mean,
it was a Tommy John, right? That's what it was.
Yeah, Tommy John.
Yeah, I mean, and didn't he get two concussions too?
No. Brock Purdy had the Tommy John. Sorry.
Yeah, didn't he had concussion issues last season?
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, he had like two concussions last season.
Oh,
and yeah, and I don't think he should play with that at all. I mean, if you got your ring, like,
True, but he wants to. I got a question.
Unless he really feels like he gonna win it.
Last thing before we get out of here, because
I just want to say that would you consider D-Hop to San Francisco? You like that?
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah, I mean,
they'd be disgusting. I mean, D-Hop's
they're already disgusting.
D-Hop's one of those players you could put him anywhere. He's gonna make the team better.
On any offense.
He's gonna make the team better because he'll open up other players and he'll get himself open. That man didn't even know the playbook the first game of the season last year. He did not know the playbook in week 7.
And he went off for 27 fantasy points.
I like Seattle too. Seattle getting D-Hop would be crazy.
Yeah.
Too.
He'd tear it up in Seattle.
Bro, there's a lot of teams that D-Hop can go to.
There's a lot of teams.
It's just on if he's gonna want that pay cut or not. Because I think no matter what team he goes to, he's gonna take a pay cut. So he's gonna have to be ready with that.
Yeah, it's late in the season. People already have their rosters for the most part. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, barring injury in training camp or anything like that. But yeah, I agree with you.
If he goes to KC though, just know we're gonna have a Super Bowl rematch for sure. For sure, unless if everybody stays healthy, I don't care what you say. You just a Cowboys fan and you mad.
Yeah, facts. Fuck the Cowboys.
Listen,
I'm
sorry.
Fucking facts, and I don't give a fuck. Fuck the Eagles.
I'm sorry for the Lions not taking Carter, making y'all lives a lot harder.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
We're still gonna be top 5 defense.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
What'd you
say? Cowboys,
I said, behind the Eagles.
Cowboys are a good team, and I fucking hate saying that. They're a solid team.
No, they are.
They just can't do shit in the fucking postseason. When the money gets put to the table, y'all fold every time, bro. Dak Prescott, that's y'all issue.
When it's Dak versus Jalen, I'm taking Jalen.
Exactly.
Oh, me too. The fuck?
Despite
you telling me, yo, if you want to trade Dak for Jalen, I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny as hell.
I'm a Dak fan for sure. Right. Dak fan, I support him, but
he's still
Jalen's nasty.
Jalen's tough.
All right, my boys. Let these people know where they can follow you and view your stuff, man.
You already know every time I get on here, man, follow me on all social media platforms at Moss8Boss. If you want to
Is that
talk
really what
sports,
that
we
says?
doing. I got my shit tatted on me when I was little.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
Right,
that's why I can't change it. That's literally all my social media is Moss8Boss.
Well,
But
yeah,
anyway,
it's on you.
No, if he changes it, he's
You
gonna
can't
cover up
change
the
it
tag.
Yeah, in fact, I had to cover it up.
man.
It actually used to be Moss the Big Black Boss, but I dropped the black. I felt it was unnecessary. You feel me?
Yeah, very unnecessary.
Yeah, fact. So, but
we
yeah,
all know
follow me
you're
on
white. Come on.
Exactly. Follow me on all social media platforms. If you want to talk sports with anything at Sports Vibes Podcast, man, YouTube,
Yes,
Twitter,
sir.
Instagram, all of that good stuff, man. Again, thank you so much for having me, G Money. It's always a pleasure, my boy.
Always. Nick, where you at?
Nick J Wilk TV on Instagram, Nick J Wilk on Twitter. You can also follow my podcast, the On Guard podcast, on all platforms.
On God!
And then OG podcast on Instagram. Check me and my boy Titus Cleveland out. We'll be on there.
Yes,
I'm still trying to get on that. I'm still
yeah,
trying to get on
man. Titus was sick this weekend. We was trying to get George on for the Heat.
Yeah.
I wanted to get his perspective, but I pulled up here instead. It's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good. We had our conversation.
Yeah, guys, you know where you can follow me on Twitter at GeorgeMike Perez, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at GMike Media _. The podcast itself, the audio version, is available on all podcast platforms, on YouTube, and now on Rumble as well.
Ooh, Rumble.
Yeah, Rumble. Why? I gotta use Rumble. Rumble's a shit.
Yeah, we're trying to hop on
Rumble.
that too. Yeah. We're trying to hop on that too.
Yeah.
It's a wave.
Same thing as YouTube.
Rumble.
Just they don't censor. They don't censor.
Yeah. It's a wave.
All right, my boys. Thank you again. And you already know that I'm gonna have you back on, man.
You nigga, you know the group chat going the fuck up tonight, nigga, when the
sir.
game get on. So you already know.
Heat in 7, baby. Heat in 7.
George, I'm gonna be coming with the energy like I'm you, boy. I'm really a Heat fan. I'm a Heat fan in these playoffs for real.
Miami, my boy. You feel me? Anyways, love, man. Appreciate
yes, sir. You already know.
Y'all be easy.